Same place, same outfit, same hair, another book tag. The name of this book tag is called Unpopular Opinions Book Tag, and I'm gonna look at all the questions on my phone, and I also need to do a disclaimer. You know, I'm talking about books. I'm not talking about your moms, your dads, the people you love. So don't get triggered. You know, people went apeshit when you talk about something that you don't like, and that thing happens to be like his or her favorite, and then they attack you. So I just wanna give you a little bit heads up. These are my opinions. I don't like these books and I have my reasons. Please respectfully disagree. Now let's start with the book tag. The first question is a popular book or series that you didn't like. Oh, there are a lot of them. I have one book with me right now. It's this Milk and Honey. Yes, the cover is cute. The cover is so goddamn cute. It's really minimum and it's in black and white. You know, the paper like feels fantastic, but the content, oh my god, I got so mad when I was reading this poetry book. So let's just I'm gonna just open a random page and I'm gonna read it to you. On days like this, I need you to run your fingers through my hair and speak softly. I was like, am I opening up a fortune cookie or something? Is this poetry? You can tweet this. Come on, you can tweet this. You can see millions of these things on Twitter, on Instagram, Tumblr. But everybody recommends this book on their channel. Mostly beauty gurus. Okay, I'm gonna read you another one. You talk too much. He whispers into my ear. I can think of better ways to use that mouth. I was like, yes, it's witty, but why is it that good? It's not that good. You know, you can enjoy this, you know, read it in the toilet. It helps you shit better. I don't know, but I don't understand. I hope I didn't start off too strong though. Like, I already feel like people are gonna hate me for this. The second question is a popular book or series that everyone else seems to hate, but you love. I don't know if people actually hate this book, but I definitely heard a lot of people don't like it. It's this Life of Pi. The movie is great, but a lot of people said it's super boring. I know where that comes from because I think the last 1/3 of the book is kind of, you know. But I do find myself really enjoying this book when I was reading. At least, you know, most of the book I was really enjoying, and that's good enough for me. And I actually copied a lot of paragraphs from this book because I think they're so inspiring and deep, and that's why I love this book. A love triangle where the main character ended up with the person you did not want them to end up with, or a couple that you don't like. Okay, so I don't read romantic novels that much, but I think there is a book called Dear John by Nicholas Sparks. I think that's his name. I read that book almost 6 years ago and I remember the ending. If you haven't read that book, please mute this video, and you know, I don't want to spoil it for you, but in the end, John and that girl is called Savannah, I think Savannah, they didn't end up being together, and Savannah moved on and she found another guy even though she is in love with John still, and she didn't wait for him to come back. And I remember it broke my heart. It was one of the first romantic novels that I have read that I actually felt like I enjoyed the book, and I felt really sad at the end. And yeah, I can still remember some of the scenes in that book. It used to be one of my favorite like 6 years ago. So it's that couple, John and Savannah. I think they're meant to be together, and I hate the ending. The next question is a popular book genre that you hardly reach for. Okay, I'm gonna make this genre as specific as possible. I hate road trip books. I freaking hate that type of books. I just can't stand them. And even movies too. I don't like road trip movies. there is a lot of sceneries involved, and I'm sorry, I'm not that spiritual, I'm not that crazy about nature. I like going into the nature, but I don't want to read about them. Who gives a shit about what the clouds look like that day and the wind? I don't care about those things, and I just never reach for them. And any book about, hiking, about going into the woods, and just, I don't care for those kind of books either. So no road trip books, no into the wild books. I don't care for those kind of books. The next question is a popular or beloved character that you do not like. I don't think I ever hate a character, but there are definitely some characters in books that I feel like that type of person doesn't exist. It's too cliche. Sometimes I feel like it's too cliche to be in a novel. Like that book, Me Before You, by Jojo Moyes. Yeah, Louisa. I don't like Louisa that much. She is just a really simple person, to the point that it's too innocent to be true, doesn't have any evil thoughts in her mind, and I don't like that type of character. And I'm not saying I don't like that type of person. I'm just saying I feel like the character can have more depth to it. Maybe that was what the author was going for, just to tell a story about a really innocent and simple girl. But yeah, I don't like her that much. And I'm not talking about the movies. I enjoy the movies. Khaleesi is in the movie, and the guy is fucking hot. I like the movie. It's a guilty pleasure for me. I like watching two beautiful people fall in love. So I'm not talking about I don't like the character, and I definitely don't hate the character. I just think that character is not as interesting. The next question, a popular author that you can't seem to get into. Okay, I have this with me. This is the book, The Girls, by Emma Klein. I think it's Klein. I think that's how you pronounce it. I have two of her books, The Girls, and then another one called Modern Lovers, on my bookshelf. I never finished any of the books. It's just so freaking boring, and it's too long, and her writing style is something that I just can't get into. I don't know why. A lot of people my age, they really enjoy this author because, she is this modern, young writer, has her charm, and the books, the title, The Girls, and nice cover, and it looks good in pictures. It's totally that type of Instagram pictures that you see all the time, but I just can't get into the story. I feel like the book talks about nothing. I have read 226 pages. Nothing fucking happened in the book. The story is so plain, and yeah, it talks about sex, it talks about really dark stuff like cult and just having sex with teenagers and, drugs, all that. But the story is not interesting. It's not interesting at all. And the other book, Modern Lovers, I finished reading 200 pages as well in that book, and nothing happened. That is just unacceptable, and I just can't get into this author. I was gonna pick John Green because, I read a few of his books, but I don't feel like any particular one is so outstanding. Then I found these two books, and immediately I felt like, oh, John Green is fine now, He's totally fine, his works are great, and I'm gonna pick Emma Klein. The next book is a popular book trope that you're tired of seeing. Okay, God, there are so many. Oh, one thing that I recently realized, that I don't like reading a book and the character is a writer. It's really specific, but I don't like seeing that. Unless the storyline has something to do with this main character's occupation. Like, he has to be a writer because there's gonna be something happening in the house, while he's working, some crazy things is going to happen. Or the book is about him publishing a book, or the story, evolves around him being the writer. Otherwise, I would feel like the author is just being lazy, Why does the main character has to be a writer? Because the author of the book is familiar with being a writer, so he just make that person a writer. I just feel like that's lazy, There's so many interesting occupations in the world. Why does the main character has to be a writer? I don't understand, and that's something I'm really tired of. Okay, a popular series that you have no interest in reading. Oh my god, the Divergent series. I can't stand them. I know I'm too old for the young adult genre, but I don't like them. I read the first one, Divergent, and I was so glad I didn't buy that book. I only borrowed that book from the library, and I was so glad I saved a shit ton of money for those books. I just recently found myself, I'm not such a big fan of a fantasy apocalypse story, especially in YA, and I'm not trashing YA. Trust me, if I'm 20-year-old, I wish I have read a lot of YA books when I'm at that age, but it just didn't happen to me. I only started to read English books 5 years ago, right around when I was 20, so I was late to the game, and definitely right now I have no interest in picking up a YA fantasy book. But if there is a really great YA book, I will still read it because I do read some YA books that I actually enjoyed. So the popular book series, Divergent. The last question is, the saying goes, the book is always better than the movie, but what movie or TV show adaptation do you prefer more than the book? I think I talked about it in my previous video. I think Fight Club, the movie, is better than the book because the book is really short and the movie just did a really fantastic job. It captured the essence of the book. It has that quirky thing going on, I just love that movie. And I feel like all the movies that based on John Green's books, the movies are just way better. I read Paper Towns. To be honest, I think this book, only a part of this book is actually interesting. And like I said, I don't care for road trip type of stories, and I think half the book is quite boring. And the movie, I think, is better. I like the whole vibe of the movie, and Fault in Our Stars is also the movie. I actually cried when I was watching the movie, but not when I was reading the book. So I think John Green's movies and then Fight Club are definitely, the movies are way better. Not way better, just better than the books. Okay, so that is everything in this book tag. I hope I didn't come across as being really rude, because that was not my intention to trigger anyone. And if you like this type of video, please give it a thumbs up. Or if you want to see more book related videos in the future, please hit that like button too. And I'm doing this thing so you know what to do. And please subscribe if you haven't, because every time I see a new subscriber, it made my day. And thank you guys so much for watching. I'll definitely see you tomorrow. Bye!